Now, Mr. Y. Chakravarti joins us, Managing Director and CEO with Shriram Finance. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. You know, I've tracked your company for so many years, but when I see numbers which are 9% growth in NIMS, 11% growth in PPOP, 10% growth in PAT, that means business is slowing down. Have you consciously slowed down your business, or this is the economy which is at play?
No, I think it's more of an economy into play. Uh, yeah, because if you look at it, the new vehicle disbursements have slowed down, particularly our heavy commercial vehicle, and of course, on the LCV side, it is slowed down. Gold, to some extent, we has moderated. There was a lot of redemption pressure on the gold loan. So all this has contributed to a slow growth in the. I mean, I would say the AUM has grown about 17%, but there is some pressure on the margins, also because of the liquidity that we are carrying.
Disbursements are growing at about 14%. You are
Yeah.
guiding for a 15% growth. So you're not optimistic that the
No, no,
base
no. We
effect
were
will kick in?
guiding for a 15% AUM growth,
Okay.
not the disbursement growth.
Okay, so what would be the disbursement growth if I have to draw a parallel number?
No, I see. I will put it this way: disbursements growth is if I disburse, say my disbursement in new vehicles grows, the AUM will grow disproportionately because of the longer tenure of the loans in new vehicles. So I mean, I don't think it's a great barometer there to look at disbursement versus AUM, but that's the reason why we are looking at growth of asset rather than just plain disbursement.
But I would imagine that if the nominal GDP is growing at about 11 to 12%, the delta for you, nominal GDP growth is 6 plus 4-5%
Yeah,
inflation, about 10 to 11%. The
yeah,
delta for Shriram historically on the nominal GDP has been more than 5 to 6%.
yeah.
In this case, the delta what you are indicating is not very strong, because I'm just adding the numbers here. Your historical growth rate, nominal GDP, and your guidance. I mean, I've tracked your companies for so many years that I know that how the numbers look like, but the numbers this time are looking different.
Uh, See, if you look at the growth on AUM, it's about 17% for the quarter if you look at it. I mean, for the year. So I think that's more or less fair assumption of though we are guiding for 15%, but I would say, I mean, what we are aiming at is between 15 to 18%. So I think we should end somewhere between that.
Along with that, just wanted to touch upon your gold loan portfolio, because that has witnessed a decline in the quarter gone by, given the fact that the gold prices are surging so much and there is demand indeed. What were the factors that led to this? Give us some sense there. And along with that, there is so much competition that seems to be kicking in this particular segment. How are you looking at the competitive intensity going forward?
See, though the quarter has been good in terms of disbursement. That's the reason why I said I'm not looking at disbursement but only asset growth, because gold, though there is a lot of there's an increase in disbursement, but because of a lot of there was also a lot of redemption pressure on the gold. So probably because of our policy that our average LTV is now pegged at around 60%. So probably that is one of the reasons why some of the redemptions may be happening. But we see that I think from this quarter, first quarter onwards, we should see an arrest in the decline. Now, as far as competition is concerned, I think the market space is there is enough scope in the marketplace for all the players to grow. So and since our base is low, I think I don't think threatened by the competition. We feel, I mean, it's welcome. In fact, the pioneers there have actually helped to bring the gold out of the closet. In fact, the shame in pledging a family gold has been, I would say, to a large extent by the pioneers and the have helped. The pioneers have helped in making people understand that they can leverage their asset. So competition is welcome. It is good. More awareness.
Let's understand a few more factors at play. 85% of your branches are semi-urban, or you may call them rural facing. For
Yeah.
a rural branch to do well, interest rates have to be lower and agriculture has to be better.
See, it's more of a one is more than an interest rate, timely available of credit is important to these segments. Second, as you said, yes, the economy has to start doing well for them to, increase the deployment of capital or whatever we call. Uh, we, uh, but we expect this going forward. The I mean, we are seeing some green shoots in the rural economy also. FMCGs have some of the FMCGs have started reporting slowly improving numbers, and as the monsoon forecast is supposed to be good, we are actually expecting the rural demand to pick up.
Your AUM growth, does that account for a recovery in the rural demand, or that is something which could be a bonus if it kicks in?
See, let me put it this way. We are not looking at growing at 20%, 30% AUMs. We would be very happy to grow at 17, 18%. I mean, though you're guided for 15, we would be happy to grow at 17, 18% and would like to focus on the bottom line more.
Chakravarti, since you have mentioned that the NIMs were impacted on the back of excess liquidity into the system, because for you the number stands at close to 30,000 crores, I believe, versus normalized level of 19,000 crores. Give us some sense there that where is this headed? When can we expect to once again see those normal level of liquidity for you coming in? And along with that, does this mean your borrowing will be a little lower coming in FY26?
Yes, you're right. So what we are looking at is probably by the second half of this year, we should see the liquidity coming down substantially to its normal levels. And yes, our borrowings would be a little lower compared to what we have done last year. The other point, what contributed to this excess liquidity was also we were working on some deals with DFIs and bilateral institutions, which is in the works for about a year or more. And fortunately or unfortunately, all of them came together in the last quarter and end of second half of December. So we had this liquidity coming into the system.
So when will you go back to the Shriram finance of old times? 20% growth, 25% growth. When will I say that?
No, I don't.
You're shaking your head that kabhi nahi hoga. No.
No. It's not kabhi nahi hua. What I'm saying is, as I told you earlier also, I'm not looking at 25-30% growth. What I'm looking at is, as I said, I would be very comfortable growing at anywhere between 15 to 18%. But what I would like to focus in the next couple of years would be, how do I improve my bottom line further from where it is, so that the bottom line growth outpaces the growth of the AUM.
Totally take that point. Thank you so much, Mr. Chakravarti, for taking the time out and speaking with us, and wishing you all the best for the upcoming earnings.
Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.